Canadian beverage. And this table's really Canadian. So are all the other items in these.
This table represents Canada in the most patriotic fashion. Hockey is a big part of our culture and is something that binds Canadians together. This table is special to me because it was given to me as a gift on my birthday many years ago. Although I was never really a Flames fan, I still obligated to cheer for them when they play an American team, and I love being a Canadian.
Hanging this piece of artwork in your house labels us home as a true Canadian. This artwork is from the 2011 Canada Winter Games held in Halifax, Nova Scotia. The painting was done by a local painter to honor one of the many sports that were a part of these games. The sport that is in this picture is ringette. The sport of ringette is invented right here in our home country. In Northern Ontario in 1963, Sam Jacks realized there was a need for a winter sport for females. To this day, it is played all across the world, but will always be native to Canada. This painting makes me feel Canadian because it brings a sense of pride to me and feelings of love for my home country. Hanging this brings back memories of not only the Maritimes, but the event that is unique to Canada.
Although these sweaters, or bunny hugs as people from Saskatchewan would call them, are common in our school because the Softball Academy sells them, I see mine as very unique. Canada is one of the only countries to have men's softball, and we are one of the best. Having such a good team in our country makes me feel accepted as a men's softball player and gives me hope that one day I might play ball for my country.
Coffee crisps and chocolate bar made in Canada. Joe Louis was also made in Canada. On the other hand, we are known for having an abundance of maple syrup. Some countries know us for having these products. I feel fortunate for having natural resources as many countries do. Without the invention of this electrical device, many people all over the world wouldn't be able to communicate as simple as it is today. The telephone is a Canadian invention that most households contain. With thanks to Alexander Graham Bell, who made it possible to speak to someone over a wire to another person in another area. This device makes me feel Canadian because every time that I go to pick up a call or to phone someone, I have a piece of history at my fingertips. The history of a special Canadian that has made communicating more easy for all. However, the founder and inventor is native to our homeland.
At the Calgary for the Stampede, I was given this bag. It's Calgary's football team. While football isn't as tightly knitted into our culture as hockey is, this bag definitely fits into our Canadiana. Reason being, it doesn't matter what the sport is, every city takes pride in their team. If someone travels to Saskatchewan for some sort of event, if they don't leave with Rider gear, then they came home with Husky gear. And as two athletes, we are grateful for this team spirit that seems to run nationwide. No matter how bad a team is, even if they haven't won a Stanley Cup since '67. Me and Shayna both got one of these after going to Legion Track Nationals. The Legion ran the event. They are big supporters of war veterans and the Canadian Army. When we got these from the Canadian Legion, it made us feel safe in Canada. It also made us feel thankful for the men and women who died for our freedom.
A toque, spelled with either an O or a U, is a name typically used by Canadians in all provinces. It is a name for a knitted winter hat or a beanie. However, real Canadians know what to call it. Here, they aren't referred to any other name but a toque. This item makes me Canadian by protecting me from the bitter cold winters. The winters that get to minus 50 degrees Celsius, but you still have to get to school. Trust me, all Canadians own a few of these. The source of light which powers your house can all be thanks to Thomas Edison. Edison is a Canadian and invented the incandescent light bulb, which is used in millions of homes. The Canadian invention has allowed people all over the world to see in dark spaces and at nighttime instead of relying on a candle. The light bulb makes me feel Canadian, as I am proud that a Canadian man has invented an object that is used worldwide. The light bulb has impacted my life by giving me an effective source of lighting and increased my working hours into the night.
Out of the 14 pieces of equipment needed to play hockey, a hockey stick is definitely one of the favorites. Not to say someone doesn't love their elbow pads or gloves, but you have a special bond to your stick. Now a stick is nowhere near the least expensive, with an average one costing around $300. But somehow, every Canadian has had one or still has one. That alone shows how it makes us feel diverse. It shows a weird side to our nation, which I'm proud of. What other country would strap blades to their feet and play a full contact game on one of the hardest surfaces known to man?
Next up is mucklucks. Homemade right here in Saskatchewan, these mucklucks are a unique gift that describe the cultural aspects of Canada. The natives first owned these shoes to express tradition and to save their feet from the bitter cold winter. To this day, many Canadians can be found wearing these shoes, not even realizing the amount of pride and culture that they are showing off. It makes me think back it makes me think back to when the First Nations people endured an experience on our homeland. Next up is mucklucks. Homemade right here in Saskatchewan, these mucklucks are a unique gift that describe the cultural aspects of Canada. The natives first owned these shoes to express tradition and to save their feet from the bitter cold winter. To this day, many Canadians can be found wearing these shoes, not even realizing the amount of pride and culture that they are showing. It makes me think back of what the First Nations people endured and experienced on our home and native land. Lastly is Montreal Canadiens jersey. This jersey represents Canada in many ways. The Montreal Canadiens are one of the 7 Canadian hockey teams. By wearing the jersey, I represent Canada not just the hockey aspect, but the history that lies behind the foundation. The Canadiens are the oldest professional hockey franchise in the world and were a part of the original 6. The team dates back to 1909 and since then has been a team much loved by Canadians all across their country. The jersey and the mucklucks make me feel Canadian by allowing me to wear on my back the history behind the team and behind the culture, as well as shows the sense of pride and accomplishment that the Canadians have gained.
Almost every song, joke, or poem about Canada has something about Timmy's in it. It isn't just unique to Canada, but it was a Canadian hockey player who started the company. It seems like in today's age you can't go a block in Canada without seeing one of these stores. So when I see a Timmy's cup, it reminds me of where I'm from and all the crazy people freezing their butts off waiting for Roll the Rink to come back. And it makes me feel like I am home.